Alright, today we're going to be looking at the least common multiple and adding and subtracting unlike denominators. So here's some vocabulary. A multiple of a number is the product of the number and any non-zero number. So basically 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 are all multiples of 5. 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, so on and so forth. The smallest number that is a multiple of 2 or more numbers is the least common multiple. So the least common multiple of 8 and 12 would be 24. That's the smallest multiple of 8 and 12. So if you want to find the least common multiple of two different numbers, you want to list the multiples of each number separately. So in this case we have 3 and 4. So multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16. And we can stop because we have 12, which is the same number in both of these lists. It's the first multiple that they have in common. You can use least common multiple to add or subtract fractions with unlike denominators. You would just find the least common denominator. It's the same as the least common multiple of the denominators. Okay, so let's look at adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators using the least common denominator. So we have 7 tenths minus 1/8. Now, in order to add or subtract fractions, you need to have the same number in the denominator. So 10 and 8 are not the same. So I need to change the denominators so that they are equal. So let's find the least common denominator, the least common multiple of the denominators. So let's say 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. Well, I already know if a number is a multiple of 10 that it's got to end in 0. So I can stop here. I can stop here because 40 will be a multiple of 10. But now how do I make those denominators? How do I make 10 40? Well, I know I have to multiply it by 4. I have to multiply 10 by 4 in order to make it 40. Whatever I do to the bottom of a fraction, I also have to do to the top of the fraction to keep the fraction equivalent. So 4 times 10 we know is 40, and 4 times 7 is 28. What about 1 over 8? How do I make 8 40? Well, we know that 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 40. So we have to multiply the top then and the bottom by 5. So again, 8 times 5 is 40. 1 times 5 is 5. Alright, so when we add or subtract fractions, the denominator stays the same. And we just do the operation at the top of the fraction. So 28 minus 5 is 23. So 23 over 40 is our answer. 7 tenths minus 1/8 is 23 over 40. Let's look at another one here. 5/16 plus 3/8. Now we could go through and list the multiples, but just looking at this, I know that if I multiply 8 times 2, I'm going to get 16. So I can easily make these numbers, these denominators equal by multiplying 8 times 2. But remember, what I do to the bottom, I also have to do to the top. So I don't even have to change the 16. It just stays the same. But 3 times 2 is 6. 8 times 2, again, is 16. When we add or subtract fractions, the denominator stays the same. And 5 plus 6 is 11. So it can be as easy as this. It can be as easy as just multiplying one of the fractions by a number to get the same denominator. Let's look at another example here. Alright, let's say we have 3/7 minus 1/3. Now you can list the multiples out. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. 7 is 7, 14, 21. Alright, we have a number that's the same, 21. But when you have small numbers like 7 and 3, they're not big like 16 and 8, then you can just multiply the numbers together to find a common denominator. That's not going to be too crazy to work with. 21's not too crazy to work with. So 7 times 3 is 21, and that ended up being the least common denominator anyway. So in order to get this 21, I have to multiply the 7 times the 3. Whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. And 3 has to be multiplied by 7, so does 1 over here. So 3 times 3 is 9 over 21. 1 times 7 is 7 over 21. When we add or subtract fractions, the denominator stays the same. 9 minus 7 is 2. So 2 over 21 is my answer here. And if you would like to do more examples, we're going to do some more in class. You can come in before school Zoom or email me to schedule a tutoring session during lunch one day. And let me know if you still want more practice. I could probably get you a worksheet or so. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in Zoom.